Welcome back to the shop. This is Zach at NV Woodworks. So today I'm going to be covering the two things that you need to avoid doing to make sure that you stay safe when using pressure pots for resin casting. So let's get started. So first off, for anybody that doesn't exactly know what a pressure pot is, you might have just got started and heard about pressure pots and heard that you can, get rid of air bubbles using a pressure pot. First things first, they are not pressure cookers. Pressure cookers are meant to be used for cooking, not for resin casting. They're not safe. What we use for resin casting is something like this. It is a converted paint spraying tank. So initially, these were, the product itself was meant to be, pressurized. You put paint in it and there's a pickup tube and you would be able to, walk around spraying paint, whether it may be for like automotive purposes or maybe inside like a residential building or commercial building. Paint spraying, basically. Now, what we do is we remove everything that would be associated with taking a fluid and spraying it out of the tank. All we're doing is locking down this tank, pressurizing it, and we put our casting inside, and that pressure, what that does is it shrinks the air bubbles to the point where they're no longer basically there. They're microscopic, and then once the liquid turns to a solid, they're effectively gone. So all we're doing is pressurizing it. Once it's ready, we take it out. Now, to operate a pressure pot, this is another subject that people ask me about, and it's really simple if you've been doing this for a while, and it seems maybe pretty obvious, but basically what you would do is, I'm going to take the lid off here, and what I would do is I would pour my resin into a mold, put the mold in the pressure pot first, put your lid on, and I recommend doing two opposite screws at the same time. That way you're putting even pressure down. So tighten them down a little bit as you go. Opposite screws, both at the same time. Get it nice and tight. And then at this point, you make sure all the exhaust valves are closed. And then you would take a compressed air, this would be hooked to a compressor, and you fill the tank. Now on top of this, you have a regulator that once you've set it, it will stop filling at the level that you've set it to. You have a gauge that tells you what the PSI, that's pounds per square inch, is. And once you're done, you're going to close your ball valve off, remove that air, and it's going to be, holding air. Now when your casting is ready, what you're going to do is you're going to crack one of the release valves, and I would recommend letting it just slowly evacuate the air. You don't want to just blow it open all at once. That pressure change can change temperatures and stuff, so let it just slowly leak out. Once it's totally down to zero on the gauge, then all you got to do is unscrew the top, put your lid somewhere safe, and you would take out your casting. All right, so it seems, most of you guys probably know how this works. You've seen people do it. But sometimes if you're, using something that you're not familiar with, you just don't know what the steps are. So I just wanted to kind of cover that real quick. All right, so now that we've identified what the pressure pot is and how you operate it, let's dive in and kind of look at what is the concern, what is the safety issue with these things. So once you've, clamped your lid down and you've, attached your air hose, you've pressurized the tank, what's happening is the air molecules in there are exerting pressure in every direction inside this. And so what could happen is if any of the components on the lid fail, it can blow the lid off, kind of effectively turn into a bomb. So how do we stay away from that? Well, all of the pressure pots that are out there that are worth using, if yours does not have this, then I would take it back and go get one that is a good quality pressure pot. But every pressure pot is going to tell you exactly what the maximum PSI is that the pressure pot can handle. You do not want to go above that max PSI. That is the golden rule with pressure pots. As long as you're staying within the working limits of the pressure pot that you bought, then you should be fine. I do know of a couple people that have had lids blow off on them, but those people were exceeding the PSI. And I know other people that have been doing this even longer than I have, and they know of people. The only cases that I know of from anybody that I've even talked to is a case where they exceeded the max PSI on the pressure pot. So, you know, just like any other tool in the shop, if you're abusing it, if you're taking it beyond what it's capable of doing, of course you can run into dangerous issues. However, if you're using it the way that it was meant to, then you should be fine, okay? So the other thing that there's kind of a 2-rule thing with this. So that is the number 1 rule, and this kind of just is support for that. The other thing that you need to do is do not remove any of the safety features on your pot. There are 3 of them. You have a safety relief valve. This is by far the most important. If for some reason your regulator wasn't set right, or you weren't paying attention, or something happened weird when you're pressurizing it and it ended up going above what you wanted it to, what it should be, you know, the max, the safety relief valve will automatically open to relieve the pressure so that it doesn't go above the max. That's what it does. So that is a very important piece. I also would argue that the regulator is the secondary. It's kind of a nice little backup piece of safety equipment, plus it's just convenient. What the regulator does is you set it so that when you attach your air hose, literally I can just walk away, and once this is set to the right PSI, it will stop letting air in. You know, for me in this case, I have it set to 70 PSI. I can put on my air hose, walk away, and it will stop inflating the tank at 70 PSI. That's just convenience, okay? That's why I like it. And in my shop, it's not like I just have a compressor that only, you know, all it is used for is pressurizing pressure pots. We have a tank. I share a shop with my dad. We've got all kinds of different tools that require air and a range of different PSI levels that they work with. These are 70 PSI, but we have things that work better at 100 PSI. So we set our tank regulator, our air compressor regulator, at about 120. And then you regulate at the tool that you're using. That way, these don't ever change. The compressor doesn't change. You don't have to be adjusting things. So it's a convenience factor, and I just think it's better to regulate at the pressure pot. Now, people will argue that this is keeping the regulator on is a point where you could get a leak. And my argument back is, so just fix the leak if there is one. It's not really that hard to find and fix leaks. I have a video on how to do that. Now, the third piece of equipment that you do not want to remove is the gauge. That way you know what PSI level your tank is at. So that's kind of a no-brainer. And that's for 2 reasons. Obviously, you don't want to overpressurize the tank. That's a safety concern. But the other thing is you want to know if your pressure, if you have leaks. It'll tell you if it's dropping pressure. So those 3 things, I would argue, keep them on at all times. And of course, what they're trying to do is do not exceed the working pressure. Now, the other thing is if you have a pressure pot that you don't know what the max PSI is, it doesn't say anywhere, I would return it or just get rid of it. Don't use it. Go get one that you know exactly what you're dealing with. And if you know the manufacturer, but it's not listed on the pot itself, maybe you can contact the manufacturer if you have like a serial number and just find out what is the max. You want to know that. So again, very simple. These are not things that you need to be very scared of. I mean, there are a lot of tools in my shop that I am a lot more afraid of than these pressure pots. But I will say the first time that I used them, I was afraid too. I literally had a ball valve like 10 feet away and I'm ducking and doing all this stuff because it was an unfamiliar thing and I'd heard horror stories. But the reality is, as long as you're not abusing the tool, follow the manufacturer's guidelines, don't exceed the max PSI, there's really nothing to be worried about. So hopefully this was helpful. If this helped you out, hit that like button down below. This is your first time on my channel. We do all kinds of resin casting projects, tips and tricks, and experiments around here. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, definitely hit that subscribe button and hit that notification bell so that you get notified when new videos get posted. As well as when I go live, we do live streams on Wednesdays doing resin casting. And I also have another, I have a whole playlist on pressure pots. One of them that I think is really, well, two that are really good that you should probably watch. If you're going to be setting up a pressure pot, I have one that shows you how to find and fix leaks. I think that's important. It can happen even on brand new ones. It's very simple to find them and fix them. The other one is choosing a pressure pot. I'm not going to go into that on this video. I have one that kind of outlines, there's different features and what to think about. So anyway, those videos are available. I got them linked down below and on the screen here. So the other last thing is, if you're just getting into resin casting and you're really not sure where to begin, check out my ebook, The Beginner's Guide to Resin Casting. It answers all those beginner questions like, what do I need to get started? You know, how does resin work? It'll help you get over that initial learning curve so you can get in the shop and start making some resin cast projects of your own. It's available on my website if you're interested. So until next time, guys, thanks for watching this video and happy casting.